How is it going, everybody? And welcome to Nerd Talk Be Advised. Today our special guest is Jimmy the Snake, or as he's known on YouTube, well, not known, but as his channel is called on YouTube, We Are the Lost Boys with a Z. That'll be linked, and all of our channels will be linked if you click our faces in the YouTube video. If you're watching us live here on Twitch, we appreciate you coming out. Especially thanks to Game Master, oh my god, I'm not going to know the next name. Eric looks like it's in there, Bodybuilder, Jaxley, Polygon, Chief Zero, Epic Boosh. There's Juan, Culprit, yeah, he's in the chat for us. We said we're gonna try to keep it to 4 people. But anyway, if you want to skip ahead to any of these topics, you can see them on the bottom. We're gonna be talking about Medal of Honor Warfighter because the beta just ended last week. The game's gonna release next week, so we're gonna be talking about that. Then we have a special segment called Games of Our Lives. We're gonna sort of walk back through gaming and see what we liked, what you guys liked, things like that. And then we're going to talk to Jimmy about his thoughts on YouTube and all of that, and get some interesting stuff there. So again, we appreciate you all hanging out with us. And if you want to skip ahead, you want to go to our channels, click on the faces. All right, so we'll start off with just how's everyone doing here. And Jimmy, thanks a lot for coming on with us.
I appreciate it, man.
And he does not have a webcam, as you can see. He actually has a really nice one, but we neglected to tell him to hook it up, and it's packed away, so we'd be mucho late if we tried to hook it up now. Puppy time, how you guys been doing?
I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright over here,
we've been on?
Good.
Yeah,
nice little vacay, what can I say?
Break.
And
I've had like days off of school so much lately. It's great.
Alright.
So we apologize if we've been late. We were going to do it last week, and I don't remember what came up. Actually,
I think everybody was busy.
2 of our hosts got
Life got in the way.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's get into it then, alright? We first we're going to be talking about Medal of Honor Warfighter, and we all played the beta. You know, Jimmy's sort of moved on. He's left us console boys behind. He's moved on to the PC race.
That is not true.
What is your main platform right now? Is it not PC?
I love the Xbox. No, it's good. It's good. I jumped onto the PC only because of this, the new thing I did, and having a lot of fun with it.
So would you call PC your main platform right now?
Oh man, why are you gonna put me right on the spot?
Not your favorite, just the one you're playing the most. Doesn't mean you have to pick favorites. Hey, I play PC too. And
right now, the most. Yeah. I'm playing PC the most right now.
Yeah. You don't have to pick a favorite, but they both have their things. I think if consoles had like a modding community, they'd be able. And not that it'd be easy to do, but they'd be able to compete. But without that, you're never really going to compete with PC.
Mm-hmm.
They're just amazing. But that's a debate for another day, and maybe we'll bring Jimmy back for that one.
Yes. Yeah.
Oops, sorry, my
No,
mouse is
it's
going on. All right. So we're going to start with Medal of Honor, and you guys in the chat right now, if you guys want to chime in, the best way to get attention to us, just as Notable Aardvark just did, put that @ symbol at Nerd Talk or at one of us specifically, stands out for us. We're going to get a better idea what it is. Sometimes we might take a little bit to get back to you, but I copy and paste some of the comments, I'll save them, and we'll try to get to them. So what we're going to be talking about, I guess, first is just our overall opinions of the beta, and then we can talk about if we're going to pre-order and some other things like that. And Puppy, you want to start us off? What your thoughts were on the beta?
Oh man, alright, so I went into it thinking it was gonna suck. Like, I thought it was gonna be terrible. I expected it, just being honest, I expected it to be an exact replica of, say, Medal of Honor 2010. I did not expect anything out of it, and I was pleasantly surprised. There was a lot of glaring issues, some of which they said that they're going to fix, some of which they haven't even acknowledged is a problem. I'm a little concerned about that, but ultimately I was impressed. I was very impressed by it.
Okay, and if you had to we'll put a rating on it. If you had to go 1 through 10.
1 through 10?
A ranking.
10 being my favorite game ever and 1 being the worst game ever, I'd give it a 7.
7, alright.
Nice.
Alright, that's good. And Time, how about you go next?
So I enjoyed it. I really did. It was an interesting change of pace. I mean, some were still familiar, but some different things. Like Puppy said, there are some issues. People are like, oh, Spec Ops is great, and they're probably going to just nerf the Spec Ops vision more, and I think the weapons were actually what was doing it, because I'd run around not even remembering that I had that see-through walls thing and just use the gun, because it was it was the one I had the most luck with.
Yeah.
Whereas you get like an assault rifle and they have lots of recoil, and you're like, I'm slow and I have lots of recoil, or I can, yeah. So, I don't know. That's just, for example, gun balance may be one thing that they're going to have to work on, but it's got promise. It really does.
And overall, if you had to give it a rating 1 through 10, the beta.
Beta, I'd give the beta about a 6, maybe a 7.
Okay, we're seeing a lot. We're ranging on the chat between about 5. I think we had 1 9 there. We had 1 negative 9,000, but I'm gonna call that an outlier, not included in our rating system. All right. So just to start off, Jimmy, I know you did not have as positive of thoughts. Is that correct?
I don't know where you heard that from. I had a great time with that beta.
Oh my gosh, you're just gonna come here and play politics and be nice about everything, aren't you?
No. I think it was interesting. I remember playing the Battlefield 3 beta, and everybody was saying how much they hated it and blah blah blah. But I really enjoyed the Battlefield 3 beta.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, when I came into this, it's interesting to see everybody saying that they're enjoying it so much, and like I couldn't stand it for more than like 10 minutes. It's just such a contrast between the two. But I think it definitely has promise. I did play it on console. No knock on console, but I guess jumping back down to like a controller and stuff like that, the sensitivities could probably turn me off about it a little bit.
Yeah, which is something they've actually said they're working on. They've adjusting the sensitivities, make it a little more sensitive.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it's.
I'm just afraid about, like a year from now, we're all sitting around playing this game, and if we are still playing this game and saying, it's just a beta, like how we joke around. So we'll go into a little more detail now. I think that was just, if you had to do a rating for the beta before we go in more detail of the game, what would you do? 1 to 10. I'd give it like probably a 4, beta-wise.
So I'll do my quick overall. My rating would probably be a 6, but I'm pretty strict. So you'd see like Battlefield 3 is probably overall the game is probably only like a 7. So that's I don't know. Maybe I'd have to readjust my ratings there. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's different, and that's not because of like issues. It's more my play style. I am an infantry only guy. Like I just can't get into vehicles. I don't enjoy it as much. The big open maps are like, oh, this is awesome to look at, but I don't get into it. So I love short, quick games. Well, the games actually weren't that short. They were like 15 minutes still, sometimes 20, but that's that game mode. But, action-packed, we're getting a lot more kills. Every game I'm getting over 20 kills. And, Battlefield 3, it's like, not always. You get on a conquest match, and it's like, oh, yay, I got 12 kills in the last 22 minutes. So, that's for me on console. Obviously, PC does change everything. But it's, so I guess we can talk about some of the, major flaws we saw, what issues we thought were holding it back, what things did they get right, what are we hopeful for. I will start off with the big thing I want, and it's not so much a change, it's just a fix. Is right now, when you set up fire teams, you get a buddy, and you join the game, it doesn't always keep your fire teams together. I like to play with my friends, the team I select, and a huge issue is once you're in the game, you can't adjust it at all, so I think that's a real bummer. That's my big, I think other than that, I don't think they really need. I thought it was pretty balanced going into Spec Ops and going into the Demolitions class. I don't know. They didn't bother me that much, and I didn't play either of them that much. My main class was Assaulter, so
it's something you'll figure out after like 50, 60 hours in. So yeah, it's a good start. We'll see where it goes.
All right. So what do you guys chime in? What do you think? Major flaws. What are the issues you saw? Let's give us sort of what.
Did anyone else feel like they were shooting at red dots all the time? That maybe it's just because there was a dark map. I just felt like I was shooting at dots.
Yeah, I think that was a horrible choice. That dark map.
Yeah, I agree. But I've seen some of the videos with the other maps, and they look good. I think to me they look pretty good. Yeah. They're bright. There's colors. There's. Yeah, but I never thought of that. But there was a lot of times where I'd be between bushes and stuff. I'd just be like, well, there's a dot. Click, 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 and. Alright, kill. Yeah. I take it. I accept.
Yeah. Honestly, my biggest pet peeve out of the whole beta was the menus. Now, they already said that they're going to rework the menus, but honestly, like, you didn't even spend that much time in them, and they still made me want to kill myself. I just... no. I wanted to get through them as quickly as possible.
Make you want to tomahawk someone.
Yes, it was terrible. And you know, when the beta first came out, you'd be like 2 games and then it'd kick you, and then 2 games and then kick you, and every time I was pissed, not because I got kicked, but because I had to go back through the menus to find a new game.
Yeah. We have menu UI Inception here. Secondaries pull out too slow. Sniper should be one hit kill to the kill box to your chest. Jimmy, you are, one of the better snipers in the YouTube world, at least. I don't know.
You're just saying that because I'm on the show.
Better than I think any of us. So.
Yeah. Okay. You're the best on the show. How about that? You're the best sniper on the show. Did you pull out the sniper rifle?
That's what I'm saying. How about how I couldn't even stand it long enough to actually try the sniping class?
Really? What class were you running then when you tried?
Game, I'll work my way in with like an assault class, get the feel for how it plays, the movement, how enemies run around. You know what I mean? What kind of lines of sight you have on a map. Yeah. But I couldn't even get through. Maybe it's unfair to judge the game based on that, or the beta based on that, and I'm hoping actually to learn a little bit more about it from you guys tonight. But I couldn't even stand it long enough to pull out a sniper.
So what turned you off, Jimmy? What was the thing you got in game, and what was like, no, there's no fun? I mean, was it just the gameplay, or was it specific elements that you were just like, I can't get behind this?
I think there are specific elements, and I know we don't want to go into the whole PC versus console thing. Yeah. So I'll stay away from that. But I do think that consoles should have some sort of field of view, adjustment built into the menus. I mean,
you've been spoiled on your PC, Jimmy. Come on.
I feel like I'm getting shot. I can't even see like what I'm holding in my hand. Like it's just like you're getting shot, and you got to follow the red marks on your screen. It's very frustrating. And I guess I'm looking at it as a standpoint like my dad's gonna buy this game and he's gonna play it. And originally, and I might actually end up buying it anyway for Xbox to play with him. But like Puppy said, you go into one of those menus, it's like, get me out of this freaking menu.
Yeah, it was
what is going on?
Awful to get around.
It was terrible.
It's just the usability of it. You know what I mean? Going into a game for first time, I think because my dad plays it, it makes me think of it like that when I go in, and I'm like, geez, this is going to be confusing for everybody.
Yeah. Something part of it might honestly be for you is that you've been so spoiled on the PC. You probably should have played a few Xbox games before you hopped on the beta to remind you that it's not like it sucks because we don't have. I mean, I've never been like, oh, I want field of view, but I'm not used to adjusting my field of view on my PC games or whatnot. So.
Mm-hmm. How about also like you were saying before? I mean, the ability to join in with your the fire team. I mean, that's a critical selling point for the game in the first place. That's usually the first thing you want to happen. You know what I mean?
Look at Battlefield 3. I don't know why more people didn't complain. It did not work properly, the squad system, for 6 months. I mean, and I still have no idea why people never complained about it. They'll complain if a gun's like, this shoots 1 millisecond too fast, there's too many bullets, and they'll complain all these things all day long. My rocket launcher noob tube doesn't kill 12 people when I shoot it in this room. I mean, anything. But it's like, wait a minute, does no one team up? Does no one know that the squad system's broken? But
yeah, simple game mechanics that should be like an industry standard.
But it's worried me. I didn't really, back then when they started Battlefield 3, I didn't try to get in touch with developers and stuff. I didn't really. Now I've sort of got some contacts, through Battlefield, Medal of Honor, HQ, and MP First. So now it's like when I have questions on Medal of Honor, I sort of reach out. I'm like, all right, get some information here. And so far, no one's getting any reply from Danger Close or EA about fire teams, but we'll get replies on other things. So that's sort of scary. They're like, we're aware of the issue. How are you liking the game?
That's very scary.
Yeah. You talk about gun bugs, and the one that got me several times was when the gun actually gets more ammo, and when the animation finishes isn't quite the same on all the guns. So I reload canceled and had nothing quite a few times. That bothered me.
That happened a lot
to
me.
With the the high velocity ammo, whatever it is, because the resupply button is the same as the reload, I'd put the ammo in, get hurt, and then
I just start reloading when I'm trying to give people ammo. So a few things we got in the chat here. Some of the issues, actually, people are all adding themselves. Here we go. The biggest issue is from Liz the Kitty. And Medal of Honor Warfighter is a grenade indicator, and I bet Jimmy did not experience that yet, but the grenades definitely come in, and it's pretty much indicator boom. And I think, did you guys have any other?
I didn't see the indicator for the first hour and a half I played. I was like, where is it? Why am I dying right now? Oh, there. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. See ya.
I mean, Jimmy, it's I guess we can. So let's give our review. You know, Jimmy sort of didn't give enough to have a review. My hopes. I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't know. So Jimmy, you're planning to get it on PC and Xbox? Is that where you're at right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna. If they fix the fire team options and the ability to join in, that'll be great. I'll grab it and I'll play with my father all the time.
So it's not a pre-order for you.
Not a pre-order on Xbox. I canceled that, but I did get it on PC, and they even had that 50% off deal. I grabbed it again today.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what is? Can you just verify now that we're here? We might as well the 50% off deal. It's if you have Battlefield Premium on Origin, you get 50% off Medal of Honor Warfighter.
Yeah, there's a link. I'm gonna go find it and I'll put it in the chat here just in case anybody wants it. But
Okay.
you follow the link and you basically input your battle log information, your sign in.
Yeah.
And it gives you a code that you can use in Origin to purchase either the what's it called, the bonus edition, or, the deluxe edition, or the regular edition, and you get 50% off, which is great.
Yeah, that's a pretty damn good deal. You say, okay, now the game is $30. I'm a little more interested.
Is no one else concerned that the game hasn't even shipped yet and they're already selling it for $30?
I did bring that up today with somebody else on Twitter. We were talking about how this $30 price point seems to be the new industry standard as far as digital downloads are going.
Okay.
You see sites like Green Man Gaming selling all these new games with 25% off, like they haven't even come out yet. So I think it's starting to look like this is what the standard is going to be, and I think why they're doing that is because it curbs piracy a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's $30. I'm not going to try to get it off a torrent. I'm actually going to play it. You know what I mean? I might spend the money and just get it.
So we should. Liz brought up a good point that it is only a PC deal. You have to. It's a digital download deal, so you don't get a disc, you don't get anything like that. You download it onto your computer through your Origin account, so it's linked to that Origin account.
Yeah.
But
I've seen. Well, it's not uncommon to get like $20 credit or something.
yeah,
I know that was happening last year, but yeah, it reminds me of like World at War that went down to like $40 a month after it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think
We'll see.
it's definitely there's a lot we could go into here. And we could get real specific and try to talk Jimmy into liking the game because I think all of us sort of have a little higher reviews than you, but that's for another time. So if we have any closing comments on this, I think we should probably move into the next and just say, I mean, we are all getting it here, and it will, it's up in the air right now. I think they could do a lot with it. I think it could be a lot of fun. They could not do a lot with it, and maybe it'll be fun for a couple months. But right now, I don't see the longevity of the game being a year. I don't think it's going to make it that long.
Most definitely not.
So.
No, but I think they have that in mind when they're putting this out. I mean, if you consider that they're trying to rush it into this time frame here to compete with something like Black Ops 2, they might be releasing a game that they almost know that it's going to have issues, you know what I mean? Because they know it's not going to last a full year. So that gets me a little scared as well.
There's definitely a few issues there. I think Jimmy the Snake's on Twitch, you can see it in the chat. There's another link, and Culprit posted the link up higher too. So it's in there a couple times.
Thinking, it's not gonna last long, but you guys keep an eye out. I think Far Cry 3 is gonna come out swinging, and ain't nobody talking about it. I really do.
Well, look forward to that.
That does look good.
We'll see what happens.
All right, so let's move in. That sort of brings us to the next topic, and that's going to be. It works. Games of our lives. So I thought that was funny, catchy. I don't know what I thought it was, but it's funny. Anyway,
Scott, I liked it. All right, I liked it.
Good, thank you. So I sort of want to talk about because I thought we're bringing on Jimmy here, and Jimmy plays a lot of games, a lot of different games. And I thought it'd be, I don't know how long, but it'd be interesting to maybe sort of throw back a little bit. A lot of us have been gaming at different points in our lives. Some of you guys in the chat have been gaming for a while as well. Sort of go through what games we really liked, and then after we talk about some of our, nostalgia, awesome games we used to play, we can sort of how games have changed and is it for the good, for the worse, and what we think. So this will definitely be a good point for you guys to get involved as we ask questions to each other. Use the @NerdTalk whatever and start putting those in the chat. And we'll bring those up as well. So first, let's just quickly go over sort of our gaming history, not in detail, just like when we gamed and stuff like that real quick. And I will say that I started gaming, Super Nintendo was my first platform, probably like kindergarten, whatever, and Super Mario pretty much the only game I played. Went to N64, Big game there, 007, GoldenEye. That game's amazing.
Nice.
Then I stopped, and then I pretty much high school. I was too cool for video games, so I didn't touch them at all. I thought people were nerds who played them. Hence why my name has nerd in it, because I've thought of gamers as nerds. No offense. And then college. First 2 years were all partying and girls, and then I realized that's not so fun. And then I was like, what's better? Video games. So that's where I am. And then I got a little more involved. You know, I started watching YouTube. So that's my real quick gaming history. We'll save the guest for last. So who's next?
I took lead on the next one, so you go time.
Uh-oh. Well, let's see. First game, find this one. Amy's First Primer. That should date things pretty well. But no, I got fairly serious in Age of Empires series with PC gaming, and played a lot of that, especially the expansion pack for. Yeah, this is the second one in series. But eventually wound up playing Halo in the dorms in college, and moved on to FPS games and console. And it's fairly easy to trace the Call of Duty from Halo, and then Battlefield.
Yeah,
that's not uncommon. So made a transition from RTS to FPS somewhere along the way.
Yeah. All right, Jimmy, what's the story behind your gaming?
Let me just say that's a good thing, though. I mean, you come from RTS over to FPS, you get to bring that strategy that a lot of just headless chickens don't have in FPS.
There's a few of his videos I can show you. He's got the brain for tactics there.
I got started. I have a picture. I wish I knew we were talking about this. I got a picture of me in like a diaper playing a handheld golf game, like super old school, like end of the 70s or early 80s golf game, right? Because I was born in '84. I'm 28 years old.
Yeah.
So my parents used to like find me hiding behind the couch playing this game because it was my dad's. I'm not supposed to be playing it.
Nice.
I beat that golf game when I was like 4. I don't even know. Like it was just like this family thing that got passed along. But I got that golf game, Nintendo, you know, Legend of Zelda, which my brother erased the friggin' game save that I had right before Ganon.
Oh.
Yeah. That was my
first
first
are you hearing this? Are you still in the chat? Big Zelda fan.
Then we had, Duck Hunt, Super Mario Brothers, awesome. Nintendo was awesome. Then we got Super Nintendo. That was like a big family thing. Yeah. And then, you know, like, my dad got us the Super Nintendo. We were all excited. I think I used my communion money or something like that. Then he realized he's playing it a lot. So then he got into the whole, like, you know, maybe you shouldn't play games so much thing. And, you know, I took a little break. I got a little laid back. I started playing games that are just mainly campaign only. Resident Evil. I got to experience all those cool games like that. Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
I remember shoplifting Silent Hill from my local Best Buy like 12 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But those kinds of games are like, you really get to see what goes into making a game.
Yeah.
Look, somebody just mentioned in the chat Tenchu. That was like huge for me.
That was massive
when it first came out.
Yeah.
But then we did a little bit of PC, you know, with like Counter-Strike and stuff like that. And you know, I wasn't too into it at the time. I kind of liked the comfort of my console, so went back to console, got all the different consoles, played Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, awesome games.
Oh, so then you went N64. You're back there around this time,
right? Oh yeah,
right?
definitely. Then then I took a huge break.
Did you go GameCube? Did any of you guys go GameCube?
Oh hell no.
I went GameCube like years later. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't something that we were like, we got to get this. Same thing with Dreamcast.
A roommate in college had one, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
See, I had it at GameCube, but that was right. We pretty much bought it like it's like a Christmas gift, and that's about the time I was like, I'm too cool for games, so that just sat there. But
yeah,
all right.
Sad tale, man.
I mean, it evolved from there. I mean, I did the same thing. I took that break where like you discover that women are hot, so you kind of shift your priorities a little bit. You know what I mean? But then I took a huge break from everything. Like I just like disappeared for a while and did my own thing. But then I came back and I was like, you know what? Whenever I game, it keeps me out of trouble. I don't feel like I have to go do something all the time, spend my money.
That's how it was for me. I was in a fraternity, and it sounds so funny. I'm 2 years of like, there's so many possibilities there. You know, there's always something going on. They're renting out bars. They're doing all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I was like, I wasn't staying focused. I was like, well, I want to hang out with people, but it's sort of lame just to like sit. And then I met like two brothers who went out a lot, but they'd like, yeah, on the weeknights we'll stay in sometime and play like an hour game, then just go. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I started playing there. And actually, the game that got me back into gaming was Rainbow Six Vegas.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I didn't even like it that much. But I'm like, whatever. I sat there probably for a month, and I'd just hang out with them and I'd watch them play. And then one day, like, you want to play? I'm like, I don't play video games. And they finally talked me into it. And I was like, all right, well, this is cool.
Play. I don't.
But I wasn't like a dude. I was just like, I don't really play video games. I didn't think anything of it. I'm just like, I'm not a video gamer. I'm not into it. You know, I watch it. It was cool. But they got me to try it. And then, you know, tactics and teamwork. And ever since then, like, I love it. I love I'm not like super tactical. I don't like to use my head too much. I do that all day. This is to try to relax. But I like where I can be a team. And that's why, like, you'll see me complain when I can't team up. That's all I want to do. I want to be with my friends. I want to be a team. And I want to, you know, work together to win. But
yeah.
So to move this on, it's like you hear our stories, and we've all sort of played the big titles, and you know, Super Mario Brothers. I guess if you've been gaming since you were a kid, that should be huge for you. You should go into GoldenEye. I think it's still revered as such an awesome game. Everyone has played it.
Oh yeah.
So gaming has changed, you know. I guess. Well, before we really talk about the changes, is there any other favorite games that we didn't sort of mention, or little overviews that you guys want to throw out? And then you guys in the chat, if you have a favorite game we haven't, you'd like to bring up,
I'm not going to say it. All right, now there's one that I'm not even going to mention because you guys should know by now I beat it to death. I'm not going to say it. But the one game that really actually got me into gaming was one that we've not talked about. It's one that not a lot of people talk about, but it was actually Red Faction. Like when that first hit PlayStation, that was like the first game that ever came out that I'm aware of where you had to use both thumbsticks to aim, and everyone was always complaining about how hard it was to aim and everything. And like I was just kind of like challenge accepted sort of deal. And I don't know, that's the one that really got me into gaming as far as that goes.
You ever try to go back to the one thumbstick, like the N64 controller? It's like physically impossible.
It is. It's terrible.
I don't know what they were thinking when they made GoldenEye, and it was like, if you want to strafe, you have to press this button over here with your right hand, and then, oh my god, it was so confusing. Aim with your left thumb, it was just, ugh.
I need to go back. I wonder if I even have that anymore. It might be tucked away in a closet somewhere.
No, you got to have that ready to go at any time, Scott.
No. This is enough. This is a stretch having my Xbox all out in the open. I was pretty much for the first few years of gaming, I was definitely a closet gamer. It was sort of like my secret habit because, again, I'm in my head. Gamers were nerds. I played sports. You know, I didn't play video games, but I've accepted it now. It's like whatever. I don't care. But all right, so gaming has changed a lot over the years. You know, so where do we think? Are we happy where it's going with the campaigns? Are we difficulty of games? I think. So here's some things that I think stand out with gaming changing it. Multiplayer, there's online multiplayer.
That's the big one.
But it's taken away from co-op gaming a lot, I think. You don't see that as much. Then there's, gaming in general, I think, has gotten easier. It doesn't take, people, I guess, don't have the attention spans anymore. So where some games, I'd play the same level a lot. It was hard to beat. And when you beat it, you're like, did you ever beat that level? No, I can't beat it. And you're like the one person who beat it, where now it's like, of course you beat the levels because no level's hard. But, there's more story, there's more graphics. So, going through these things, what do we think? Are we happy with it? Are we liking where it's going? Or are we not liking where it's going? Jimmy, how about you start out this time?
No, I don't like where it's going because it's getting harder and harder to tell what kind of game is going to be quality. You know what I mean? You can look at all these awesome trailers that you see, and even the crappiest games have some of the coolest trailers. You know what I mean? Because I do a lot of video stuff, so I'm always looking at those trailers, and it could be a title you never even heard of, and I tweet it out as like the awesomest trailer I've ever seen. But it's getting harder and harder to discern the difference between quality and what was just put out to make money. You know what I mean?
I guess that goes into the gaming companies. There's this big divide now. It's like the top companies, I guess, sort of like the American economy type of thing. The top are getting bigger, and the middle's going down. It's harder to find. A lot of gaming companies are not successful now, and then you see the few that are successful pretty much have a big title, and that's EA,
still a lot of indies who are reasonably successful, though.
Yeah, they're coming.
In some right.
Back.
Yeah, I guess, but I just know like in the last 10, 15 years, a lot of gaming companies have been in the red. You know, even big companies that still release games out there, they're in the red for their like yearly revenue.
Yeah, they're spending money, lots of money on high production value games. That's easy to do.
So we go into, you know, some put a lot of money into the high production games, and some people put a lot of money into advertisements that make it look like it's amazing, and then it doesn't work out. So
Medal of Honor.
well, we'll see. You know, I don't think they put that much money into advertising, but maybe. I haven't seen that much.
I don't know. They nabbed Linkin Park, man. You can't even pretend like that was a cheap.
Once you apply Linkin Park to anything, it's just like, you know. You should know, Scott.
Yeah. Oh wow, Liz.
I know the guy that makes the trailers. The trailers for Medal of Honor. Like, you know, remember we saw that first release trailer and it was like, or the preview trailer, it was awesome. The music, it was like pounding, it showed the campaign. I know the guy that makes them, so he can make anything look amazing. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing it, I was like, great. Nice. But at the same time, I was worried, you know? I was like really worried how this game was going to be.
So, what else? What are we thinking, guys? Puppy time?
As we're getting more and more multiplayer focused, you're relying more and more on what other random people are doing. And that's so hard to engineer in terms of the game that, yeah, like I said, you don't know if it's going to be good or not because how are other people going to play it? How is your interaction with those other people going to work in the game? And that's actually kind of hard to do. As much as single-player campaigns have gotten all scripted, you know, maybe it's boring, maybe it's just making it, I don't know. But in terms of multiplayer defining the success of a game, you're relying on other people that you've never met and are probably never going to talk to again in order to have a fun game.
Which is why I always play with a team. So it's, you know, when you go, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the community maybe is getting more of a say in gaming now. And honestly, like, and not until right now did it call up, maybe that's not such a good thing. Modding, I think modding is the best thing ever. You know, not like hacks and stuff, but modding, having this modding community, like what Valve's options for all these like modding Steamworks or whatever. I think that might, I mean, it's just so amazing what you can add to a game. Look at all the cool things that have been made for like Team Fortress 2 or Skyrim or some of those other Minecraft. It's just all these amazing things that you decide if you want it or not. That's all. I think that's so good for gaming. But having the community sort of always voice their opinions on like guns and stuff, it's maybe hurting games, and or maybe even I go back to gaming and I think maybe it's because gamers are like getting more educated. It might actually be an issue. Before, when I get back into gaming, Rainbow Six, then I went to World at War, I had no clue overpowered. If I saw someone using a gun that was good, I didn't think overpowered. I thought good gun, so I used it. And yes, you can say a lot of people used overpowered guns, but to me it was like, well, you're an idiot if you don't use the overpowered gun, you know? It was never a complaint for me, and I didn't always use it. I'd use other guns. I'm like, man, I should be using that gun. Oh, well, I'll keep trying this one. And it was just, I don't know. I think YouTube, and we have some people out there who, obviously, you voice a complaint. It's sort of like big news. If like, oh, this gun's overpowered, everyone watches it. So then it makes people start complaining, and, you know, I look back, and I'm thinking YouTube and the bigger the gaming community gets, it could actually be negative for gaming. You guys want to?
I completely agree with that. I mean, if you go into any first-person shooter, you can literally just write down and take note. The majority of gamers, I'm not going to speak for everybody here, but I think we all play a little bit differently than the majority of gamers as far as like what they're even considering gamers nowadays. Now they're trying to get everybody in the family involved. So I mean, when you have all those people that you're trying to please, the majority, it might not be in the best interest of people that have been gaming since they were, you know, in diapers behind their parents' couch.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have all these new weapons and they're put into the game specifically, and you know it's new. It's like a total new weapon. And why haven't they fixed it yet? Because they need that kind of weapon, they need that kind of tactic, they need this spot that you can head glitch in, because if you didn't have that, the majority wouldn't pay money for the game, and you wouldn't make sales. And everything's about, you know, money.
That's a good point, too, and I didn't think about it either. And you look at Call of Duty, and people, we're not going to, how good or bad is it, but it's accessible, I guess. You can pick up Call of Duty, and, I mean, I've given it to some girlfriends of mine, not girlfriends who are girls of mine, MassNERDerer, obviously, is the girlfriend, and she's in the chat there. So, thanks for coming, honey.
Tell us about these friends that are girls, Scott.
So, just other people I've had play, like, throughout time, try out, like, and obviously they can't pick it up and be good, but if you are comfortable with a controller, you can grab Call of Duty, and you can you can get some kills out there, you know. You grab Battlefield 3 for your first time, it's going to be a little harder. You go to different games. So I think, you know, you're right on that. Accessibility, people want, it's, I guess, maybe part of it, we know we want what we want now. So it's, I don't want to take the time to learn how to play a game. Give me a game, I want to get some kills. If I can't, no, return.
Exactly, and that has a negative effect on everybody that's like a traditional day-to-day gamer.
Yeah, it's true. So John Parr wants to know how you keep that straight face the whole time, Jimmy.
Practice, man.
Yeah.
I just sit in front of a mirror. I have a mirror right next to my monitor, and as I play, I just glance over at myself. I give myself that look, like boom.
Don't play Jimmy in poker. You'll lose.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, it's. I love the option that the way we can connect like this. Like, it's fun. I can talk about gaming and I can learn more. And so I enjoy the gaming community, but I also don't know if it's for the best interest of gaming, because I think really you could have, and I guess you could have glitches in games before, and it took a lot longer. Now it's like, wait, glitch, it's all over the internet, so everyone, you know, I guess it makes it worse, where before it's like, you could encounter, I mean, given we didn't have multiplayer, but even right in the early start of multiplayer, there might be a glitch, but maybe one person finds out, and then one other person sees him do it and figures it out, but it took a long time before people knew there was a glitch. Now, day 1, hour 2, you know what's going on with the game. You can find it, and you can start taking advantage of all those things.
I think that's partly a culture that, like, people want to share it, want to be the first to show it off.
Yeah.
I don't know
you
if
still
that's
saw that,
culture.
but-
I think that might be, I want to try to think I'm cool on YouTube. I don't know. People
Yeah.
think YouTube's fame, but
Yeah, it's not.
It's like Time said before, once you start introducing all these multiplayer aspects that nobody's ever accounted for, you're going to get unpredictable results.
yeah.
And that started happening a while ago with Call of Duty. So, I mean, even Battlefield Bay Company, too. So, I mean, when you start seeing this stuff, you would think by now, how many years later, they would have either accounted for that glitch or somebody doing this kind of newbie tactic. But at the same time, you're like, well, they kind of want to make money, so they're probably leaving it in the game for a reason.
Yeah, good point. All right, so let's wrap up this topic. We've talked about some of our favorite games, the gaming community. I guess it sort of seems like most of our, I don't want to say not happy. I think maybe it's going in the wrong direction, but I'm still happy to be a part of it. I still have fun. I think for me, it's all about the multiplayer experience. Started out, it's changed a lot just in a quick time. That's because the way it's growing so quick on YouTube and so easy for people. And now every game, people are searching out to find glitches and all this stuff. But I enjoy it, and I think it's fun, and I think it's all about who you surround yourself with. You know, if you hang out with cool people like this, you see the more fun in it rather than getting worked up over the things. And that's for me. Anyone else closing topics here?
Like I said, I know that the general vibe is a negative one, but personally, I think the way that gaming is going is a positive direction. Maybe not so much from the coding and glitches and things like that, but I mean, if you look at back in the day, playing GoldenEye, you know, what did you have to do? There was team deathmatch, you kill the other people, and now they're talking about, you know, we have Scavenger coming out for Medal of Honor and Home Run, and or Scavengers for Battlefield 3, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But, you know, and you got Home Run coming out for Medal of Honor. You got all these interesting game types that are coming out that didn't happen back then, and I see it only getting better as time goes on. So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, it's weird. I see games improving in some aspects and going down. A few people, I forgot, I wanted to mention them out, but one person was like, I agree on difficulty, I think. But anyway, it's definitely torn. I guess it's hard, you know. I have more fun. I don't know if I have more fun. It's more interactive gaming than I used to. But it's a good thing. But let's move on to the final topic. Wrap up shortly here. And that is going to be Jimmy and YouTube. And it's a pretty interesting thing. And Jimmy, I'll be honest, it's something I've been interested in since I found your channel. And the first time I ever contacted Jimmy actually was probably, man, back in December or something. And I loved his stuff. I thought it was amazing. I just started watching, and that's when, right around the time I was getting offers from Machinima and other people for a partnership on YouTube. And I saw Jimmy, and I was like, you just seem like an awesome guy, and I asked him for his opinion on like who I should partner with. But so since then, I've been wondering, and that's just sort of like where you're at in YouTube, because I mean, a lot of people here, if you guys haven't seen his stuff, if you're watching this on YouTube, click on his face, go see his channel. He only puts out, what would you say on average you put out, Jimmy? One a month? One every other month?
Oh, man. Alright, so since I got the PC, it probably dropped down. So you probably have, like, if you average it out, one every month or so.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be more. I was regularly uploading, like, every two, oh, man, she's mean. Look at her in the chat. But it was like once every 2 weeks I would put something out, but I would only really put something out if I wanted to share it with people and I thought it was really cool to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what I used to go to YouTube for. I wanted to see this like cool thing or this guy play a certain way. You know what I mean? So it slowed down a little bit, and that's because of the PC.
I mean, I don't know. Even since December, which was before you had a PC, you were not at a regular, because
that's true. I wasn't regular.
But so it's an interesting thing though, because your videos were, what are we talking about? In the background? Wow, I'll read that later when you guys are talking. I get sidetracked by the chat so much. Your videos definitely are typically very high effort. You know, even if you're just trying to give like, here's a regular commentary, you have overlays coming in, you know, like little images popping up just to really facilitate the conversation and keep the thing going. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people would agree your montages are definitely up there, and the montages, you know, you can tell there's effort in there for this stuff, and it's sort of interesting because you see people who put that much effort into videos you think are trying to grow, but from the outside it looks like you have no care in the world about growing your channel at all. So I guess I'm very interested into what YouTube is to you, you know, what your goal is there, and what, you know, all this effort, is it just because you enjoy it, or is it because I want to share it, or what's going on there?
I completely enjoy it, and it's like you said before, interacting with everybody, you know what I mean? It really got you more involved with gaming in general. Like, that's why I do it in the first place. Like, it's so cool that, like, the subscribers I have right now on YouTube have been dedicated subscribers, and I can tell that because if I don't put out a video for 2 months, they're still there when I put out my next one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these same people come over and talk to me on Twitter, they meet me on Xbox Live, they meet me on PC, and that's really what's awesome to me. Because you remember when you were growing up and you had that kid that lived 2 doors down and you can play games with him or go over his house and play Bionic Commando or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, kids came from, you know, 5
forever.
blocks down to hang out with me, but whatever.
Well, exactly, yeah. Yeah. But nowadays it's not like that. I mean, you're kind of older and you're involved with stuff. You have a job. So going online and meeting all these cool people that share a similar vision as far as teamwork, like we were talking about earlier. Are you texting right now, Scott? I will reach through the screen.
No, sorry. I'm right here.
I was really interested in what Jim had to say, and then I looked. Okay. No, it's basically that. Like, just interacting with people is just awesome. You did that Project PTFO thing, and that was I thought that was a great idea. That's why I wanted to be involved with it. I mean,
it's so okay. So interaction, you could do that by just commenting. What drives you for these videos that probably take you, you know, a full day, and hours and stuff?
What, as far as when I make some of my other videos?
Yeah, because I mean, interaction. You can go comment on videos. You can do that. You can be a subscriber.
Yeah, well, no, my videos are like obsessive compulsive disorder. Like, I can't stop working on it until it's like perfect in my mind. You know what I mean?
So why make the videos? That's part of the interaction, or do you really enjoy like a montage? You just really enjoy making a montage, but don't really care how many views it gets? And
yeah, I've never cared about that. I mean, it's always been about like, hey, let me make this, and then I tell my, you know, however many friends I have on Xbox, yo, go check this out. It's awesome. You know, like, I like to be entertained, so I kind of want to do the same thing for other people, and I don't want to sell them short. You know what I mean? Like, go click on this link. It's a video of me talking about a trailer that somebody else made for the trailer. You know?
Yeah.
So you'll never see something like that really on my channel.
Yeah, no, I understand. So, one question here, because a few people were freaking out a minute ago. Jimmy, do you have an official number on how many video games you own currently?
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Do you have an estimate if you don't have an official number?
I think I got like 700 something games on the PC.
So over 9,000.
Wait.
Guys.
Yeah, I got a lot.
Wow.
I got probably about 200 Xbox games. I'm looking behind me. And I got a crap load of Xbox 360 games. So look, when I talk about Warfighter and I'm talking about the mechanics that I don't like, I'm not just pulling it out of my,
Oh, I know. Hey, we pick when we have guests, we pick topics specific to our guests to try to make sure, and we figured you'd be a good candidate. And because we all sort of liked Medal of Honor Warfighter, I definitely wanted someone to discuss it who was, on the fence about it, not liking it so much, but not just a pure hater. I think you have reasons, and they're reasonable. So.
They're legitimate.
Yeah,
sorta.
Yeah, it's kind of a hater, but no big deal, So. So the YouTube thing.
How about how tomorrow I have 2 arcade machines that I just bought that I'm moving into my house? How freaking awesome is that?
All right, Jimmy. How many of these 700 PC games have you not played once?
I have played everything at least once or twice.
Oh my god!
Like I'm not just gonna buy it just to have it. Like I really want to check it out. Like somebody said,
my life.
I like this.
Probably have 50 Steam games, and I've probably played once, maybe. 15 of them have probably been played once, and then maybe another 5 have been played more than once. So that leaves like 30 games never touched.
Nah, that's understandable. I mean, you got a life.
Not that exciting, but
I'm just a ping image on your screen.
Oh, we're real. Jimmy's locked in this room, and all it is games. He used to be able to find the door, but is no longer accessible. So that's
how hot it is in here.
Well, my room gets pretty hot too. So,
Wow.
YouTube with you, and then we'll chime in on our thoughts on YouTube, I guess. But where do you see that going for you?
I have some great ideas that great to me, but I put together some awesome videos, and I just really haven't taken the time. Like, this is the most I've spent not playing a video game when I'm home.
Can we hurry this up, guys? We're getting in our personal chat right now.
You're cutting into
hurry up.
Battlefield close quarters time. No, it's just like I gotta take a break. Once I get my fill, and then I'll take a step back. I'll make some videos about some poignant topics, and then we'll all come back here in like a couple weeks, and we'll be able to talk about this kind of stuff.
Oh, I can't wait, and I have to admit, it makes it even. I know it's not your goal, but when I see a tweet or anything where you say V, I'm like, oh, now I'm interested, because it's like because they're so long in between. I'm like even more interested. What's gonna come, but
yeah, but no pressure, Jim. No pressure.
No.
I think you gotta get tweets like every day from people saying when you're gonna make another video.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But they have a good point. I mean, they push me to do it sometimes. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have a responsibility to us, and without that, you should probably pay us for sticking around and just waiting.
Okay.
That seems. Donate some of these games. Thanks for hanging out, and sorry for no video today. Here's a free game. I've already beat it.
We need another community event, I'll tell you that.
It's in the works. I've got some ideas, but I don't know what to launch it on. It could go back to Battlefield 3, but it's hard for me to do that with Battlefield 3, since Battlefield 3 is not a primary game for me at the moment. It's like I'm not playing it much. But
we could do Medal of Honor. We could do like Rage Squad.
There's been some teasers. There's some things in Medal of Honor in the works. Ideas that haven't been. We gotta see how the game launches and what goes on.
Have a squad of raging.
so let's hone in on this topic. Finish it up here, guys. So after hearing some of Jimmy's stuff, you guys have any comments you want to make personally about how you feel about that? Your thoughts or questions for him? And
so, I guess the question I have, Jimmy, is someone who does some really high effort work. Do you ever have any ideas that you just have to throw out, and how do you decide? You're like, oh wait, that's a bad idea. I shouldn't do that. Have you ever run into that?
Yes, absolutely. Like I'll start on like an awesome idea, and I'll be about like 20 hours into it, and I'll be like, okay, that's 5 seconds done of motion tracking, and I haven't taken a shower in 4 days. You know what I mean?
Motion tracking gets me. I'll be honest, because I'll just be sitting there, like frame by frame, because I'll try to go and like. Sometimes I'll try to go and just get it to track like part of an image, and it doesn't work. So I'll be frame by frame, and you just get into it. You're just sitting there, okay, click, move, click, move.
Yeah, and then
you
realize.
Then I look at the clock, and I'm like, oh my god, this was I did it in one video, and it was probably like 45 minutes for like a 5-second clip of just a character in the background who was running like away from the objective, and I put like a little quote on him, like he's scared, like I'm so scared of MassNERDerer or something like that. And it was so small. I don't think I didn't get one comment on the video about it. I didn't get anything. I'm like, oh my god, I put like an hour into 5 seconds of a guy running.
Oh yeah, that's the worst though, when you put so much work into it and then nobody like looks at it. So
yeah, I wanted to say something in the comment. I wanted the first comment to be like, who can find my quote? Because people would do it then, but I just let it go. I was like, I was curious. Are people gonna care? And I guess they don't.
Not yet. Because my videos didn't get much views either until like 2 years later. Like Colin saw one of my videos and he was like, "This is awesome."
Yeah. I think honestly, you probably have a big YouTuber, you know, from some of the big YouTubers in your following more so than other people, because you know you're not spamming them, so they don't, you know, they're interested. People want to see because they know it's going to be good, and I think that's something I've struggled with. But my view, and I'd love to hear from the other guys, is like I don't know. I'm so goal oriented. I can't just come to YouTube and be like, I just want to put a video out, and that's how I was in the beginning. And I put a lot of mine private in the beginning. I was just sharing them with friends, and then I put a few public, and didn't care. And I was totally like that. But then one day I'm like, I want to put a lot of effort into a video and try to make it good, and I did that. And then it was like, and people said it was good, and then I was driven, and I'm just like, I want to make more. I want to do more, and I have no interest in ever making this a job. I actually would probably refuse to make this a job unless for some reason I was making like, probably once you get me over 150,000 a year, maybe I'd be interested. But not because just money. It's just so risky that like I don't know, even then it'd be difficult because, and could I say like I'm a full-time gamer? I don't. Anyway, it's hard though for me to think. It's just sort of surprising because I think a lot of us come to YouTube, even people who don't want to do it as a job. You know, we sort of get, I don't know, I get in the cycle and okay, let's put another video and let's just see how they do. And you know, and I think when you put a lot of effort into something, you want people to watch it. You know, it's not so much about I want a ton of subscribers or anything like that, but it's like I want views and I want comments. You know, I want people to say,
yeah, you want feedback.
Comment, yeah. You know, was it good? Or how about just respond to my questions I asked? I like that. You know, and that's sort of where I'm going. What about you guys?
My subs.
Any other questions from you guys you want to bring in for Jimmy? Let me check the chat. I asked earlier. Puppy, anything you want to chime in here?
I got nothing.
No time? Nothing else?
I'm good.
All right, let's see if we have... I'm not from Massachusetts.
The chat is a little off topic, as expected.
As expected.
Wow.
As usual.
I need subs. I need subs. Where are we going at? Oh, another one. I'm not from Mass. No. Yeah, the name. All right, we'll just quickly off topic though. MassNERDerer. I don't think a lot of people get this. MassNERDerer. It's like a play on words there, but a lot of people don't actually seem to get it, which was surprising to me.
That's terrible.
I get it, Scott.
Oh, good. Chris from Shusty Bang, just like a month ago, was like, I just got your name, and I was like, oh my gosh. I've been talking with them for like over 6 months. We've been. What do you think this name means without that? It's just like, wait, Mass? No, why do you put these words around nerd? Why do you just call himself nerd? Like, it's just so funny. So, no questions. All right, so what I think we'll do is we will wrap this up here, and just if there's any little bit, we'll probably come back just a 5-minute after show, if that's okay with you, Jimmy.
Yeah, sure, if you want, man.
We'll go real short. We'll keep it short this time. I usually lie and we don't keep it short, but we will this time because I need to do. But I appreciate everyone hanging out in the chat. This was sort of a longer podcast, and hopefully you enjoyed hearing some stuff about Jimmy and his YouTube, you know, just because it is some really creative stuff, and interesting to hear sort of his thoughts behind it, because I've always been curious. And talking about Medal of Honor, definitely in the comments if you're still here in the YouTube video, let us know what you're thinking. If you pre-ordered it, if you want to rate it between 1 to 10, we've already done that in one of my past videos. And then games of our lives. What was your favorite systems, you know, and what was your favorite games on that system? So again, thank you all for watching. Make sure you click on our faces, head to our own channel, click down below if you want to go back and listen to any topic. And we will talk to you guys later.